If you want to live by the water, if you want to be a short drive to downtown Toronto, if you want to have some of the best views looking back at the city, well, Humber Bay Shores might be a neighborhood that you could be interested in. Now, in today's video, me and my team partner Amrit Walia are going to break down our favorite condos in this neighborhood. So if you enjoy these videos, make sure to get subscribed, like this video. If you want to work with our team to help buy or sell a condo in this neighborhood, you can do so in the first link in the description. All right, Amrit, welcome back. First of all, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing good. We've taken a little bit of a break from these videos, but we are back with our best condo neighborhood videos for Humber Bay Shores, which by far was the #1 recommended area in our comments to do next. So give me your general, before we get into the buildings, your general thoughts on the neighborhood.
I think it has the most scenic waterfront views from this neighborhood. Yeah. It's a blend of lakeside living with modern convenience, I would say. Stunning waterfront views. You've got great parks. Humber Bay Park is right there. Got a community vibe to it. It's safe at the same time, and as well as calm and peaceful overall. It's not as chaotic as downtown Toronto. So that's what a lot of people and a lot of clients whom we work with, they love about this neighborhood.
And speaking of downtown Toronto, I remember earlier on in my career when we were working with condo buyers, they would ask us like, hey, you know, downtown seems pretty expensive. Where can I go to get like better price per square foot or better value? And at least it used to be that I would say like, okay, well, Yonge and Sheppard per square foot is less expensive. And Humber Bay Shores, Mimico area is also less expensive. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore. It seems like we've kind of all equalized and gone to similar value. Why has that happened?
Yeah, you're right. It has caught up in prices. And the reason is, again, I think, as I said, it's more calm and peaceful. People are avoiding all the chaos of downtown Toronto. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons. But at the same time, they want to be close to downtown Toronto too, to, you know, enjoy the city vibes and all the events which happen in the city. So I think this is a good spot when it comes to that. And they've got decent connectivity, I would say. Not the best right now, but down the line, it's going to become way better. But right now you have like the bike trails. Bike trails are not so bad. And it's not too far off via drive as well. Right now, Gardner sucks. I'll be honest.
Gardner always sucks. It's never not
especially
sucked.
Right now, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
You know what I was thinking too? It's like, you know, you think in, at least of us recording this video, the condo market's slower right now and buyers hold the cards and it's been a total change from what we were used to for the last 10 years. But what continues to be the case, no matter what the market conditions are, condos with views of Lake Ontario or looking back at the city still typically sell fairly quickly compared to the stuff that doesn't have that. And I guess when you look at where this is located, like a lot of these buildings are very close to the water. That could be one of the reasons why people still love living there, even in slower overall condo markets.
That's correct. Yeah. By the water, like those are always condos, those move even in a down market like today. So that's a good point. Yes.
Okay, so let's get into it. What's your #1 condo on the list that you think buyers should pay attention to?
Yeah, in that area, there are many condo buildings. So I would say there are two set of condo buildings. One is on the northwest corner of the Humber Bay Shore, which includes Westlake Condos, which is right around the plaza. And the other ones are on the south side, which is on the Annie Craig. And there are about like 7 to 8 buildings which are good. So to begin with, I'm going to say my most favorite on the Annie Craig is going to be 59 and 60 Annie Craig. Is developed by Greywood Development, solid developer, built in 2015 if I'm not wrong. And the maintenance fees are pretty solid. They're about like 70 to 80 cents per square foot, which is solid. Units have decent layouts. You're looking at the views, looking out southeast, especially looking towards the city and at the water. Those are spectacular, stunning views and pretty solid.
My next one, or I guess my first one, might kind of throw people off, but I'm going to go out on a whim here. Palace Pier. The oldest, ugliest from the outside building. Like those units, we've sold a few in those over the years. They're massive floor plans. And like, I'll admit, maintenance fees are crazy, but everything's included. The amenities are better than, like, this is when they built condos to actually be lived in and not just rented out and invested. So I think it's a perfect building for downsizers that have a big house that they still want, you know, 1,500, 2,000 square foot. Like there's units in there like 4,000 square feet.
Yeah.
So I'll go and say it. Like I get it from the outside, kind of looks ugly and dated at this point, and no balconies, but the views that you have in that building, looking back at the water in the city, are like amazing.
They're amazing. Amazing views. And it's a complete package. That building provides a complete package. You've got tons of amenities, and the concierge, they are pretty solid too. Like the concierge, you feel it,
Yeah,
like
they
they
know
greet
your
you when you
name.
enter. They know your name, right? So it's a whole package which they offer. So it's a proper, it's a, I would say, not a boutique condo, but at the same time closer to that, I would say.
And what you've seen over the years too is because the floor plans are so big, a lot of these
Yeah.
units have been like gut renoed and they're stunning and modern and updated, even though, the building from the outside doesn't look that
Yeah.
spectacular. But this was like the original luxury condo, right? When they first built Palace
Yeah.
Pier, that was a big
Yeah.
deal. All right, I'm sure you have a newer condo next, but what's your next on the
Yes.
list?
Actually, I have a newer condo. This is 65 Annie Craig. I'm gonna continue on the Annie Craig
Yep.
street. 65 Annie Craig is Vita 2. It's not a high rise and it's just by the water. Again, the views looking out south are southeast, especially, they are amazing. Even west, you get sunset and as well as the water views. So those are spectacular views. Units have good layout, and as I said, it's not a high rise, so you do have that sense of community in that building. And it's a newer building developed by Matimi Homes. An overall solid building in my opinion, and again located at this solid spot in Humber Bay Shores.
So my next one is also going to be a slightly older building. This seems to be a trend in this video. I like the 200 Manitoba building. Again, I know, yeah, condo fees are higher, but the loft style units they have in there, we've helped a few sellers over the years sell their properties in that building. And every time I walk in, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this is cool. We sold I think like a 1,600 square foot 2-level one 2 years ago in there.
Yeah.
And I remember just being there being like, oh, I could totally live in here. So I think the floor
Yeah.
plans are good. It's more end user driven, obviously because of when it was initially built. But if I don't, if for whatever reason, like I'm looking in that area, and I have the budget maybe for a house, but I don't want the house, and I'm like, that's a building I would focus on, because although it's not sexy and it's not new, and there's no water view because it's not a huge building.
No,
I
but
mean,
it's a loft. So it's a solid loft. Like
it's just
would
I
call it
really
sexy.
like it.
It's
I like it. Like if
aesthetics.
I'm looking in that
Yeah.
neighborhood, I'm thinking about that building.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. It's a solid building, and as well as, and there are not many lofts in that area, regardless, right?
No.
So that's one of the only lofts. So that's a
What's,
wow factor for that neighborhood too.
What's next on your list?
So next we're gonna go to the West Lake, that is next to the plaza on the northwest corner of this neighborhood. So I'm gonna talk about 10 Park Lawn. Again, it's a high-rise building, and layouts are pretty solid, especially views looking out on the west side of the building where they're looking into a creek. So that's got a pretty nice views and pretty nice vibe to it. Built by Oni Group, it is a high rise, so it's a lot number of units in there, so many people. Sure, but overall, it's a well managed building in my opinion, and the convenience is at your doorstep. Downstairs, there's a metro, there's a Starbucks. So if you want to run any errands, there's a convenience store too. So overall, I think it's a solid building, and as well as the condos in that building trade at a reasonably fair price point, so which is
Right.
nice.
I'm going to stick on Park Lawn. I'm going to go with the South Beach condos, the 88 and 90 Park Lawn. And it's for one specific reason, okay? Like there's all these many reasons we could bring together, but for this one, I've just found personally over the years, first of all, I just think the floor plans are good in that building for being like a not old but not super new building. I think the floor plans are great. The people that I've met that live in that building, like, treat their units really well. And that might sound funny, but like my experience has been every time I've gone to this unit or met a seller that's thinking about selling in this building, it looks good. The floor plans are good. Like, there's sometimes you walk into a condo in your mind, you're like, this is the worst floor plan ever. Like no matter what I do, this is going to be a tough sell. Most of the time I walk into there for the larger units more specifically, and I'm like, oh, this is nice. The finishes are good. It's not high end, but and it trades even right now in a slower market. There's a lot of units in those buildings trading and finding buyers even when things aren't flying off the shelves.
Yeah, primarily I think because of the floor plans. They have pretty good floor plans where you don't feel cramped inside a unit. So I think that's one of the reasons, one of the prime reasons.
Yep. What's next on your list?
Next up, I'm gonna stick to the same neighborhood, that is Westlake. These are similar building to 10 Park Lawn, that is 2220 Lakeshore, 22112 Lakeshore, basically Westlake condos. Similar vibe to 10 Park Lawn. It's a high rise, but the buildings have good floor plans, and the views looking out south and southwest are pretty solid. So that's why I would vouch for these buildings. And as well as the condos, in today's time, you can get a decent 1+10 for, let's say, 550K to 575K with a parking spot, which is not bad in my opinion. So yeah, that's about it. What are your thoughts on the new condo building, which is on the Mirabella condos? Because I have a lot of buyers who ask me about that, but I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, so you know it's interesting is like there's been a trend in this video. We're saying we like these buildings because of a few different reasons, mostly floor plan related. So like good livable floor plans, mostly having a view of the water related. And then the third one would be, well, these are buildings that buyers actually want to buy into, live, not just strictly invest in.
Yeah.
So that kind of, transitions me to talk about Mirabella is like, I actually think it's a good building. I just think like the timing of it being sold, because it's new, it was mostly sold to investors. So at this period of time, I would go out on a whim and say that most of that building is probably rented out. And I don't love to give opinions on buildings that aren't established yet, because like we don't know what's going to happen. But I can't look at that and say like, no, I wouldn't think it's a good building. I think you still get some amazing views from there. And there's some pretty solid floor plans and some larger units as well for a newer building. So I don't have any issues with it. I don't know if it would be number one on my list though for the area, but that's kind of how I feel about it. What about you?
Yeah, same. A lot of clients pitch me this condo. Why don't we go and see this one? And we go check it out. Amazing views, decent floor plans, no doubt about it. Building is fine, no problem. But the only problem is it's in between Gardner and Lakeshore.
Right.
And they have pretty good soundproofing. When the balconies doors are closed, the windows are closed, you don't hear anything. But when you open them, there's a lot of noise coming in. So if you're on a lower floor, I would avoid. But if you're in a higher floor, then you're fine. Especially if you're on a higher floor looking out south towards the lake. Oh, amazing views, you're fine. You don't hear much inside as well. But the only problem is that both the highways.
I guess
it's kind of isolated too.
Right. It's not where all the other ones are, right? Do you got anything else on your list?
No, that's pretty much for Mimico, Humber Bay. Yeah.
Well, let us know in the comments below if there's any buildings that we missed. And keep in mind, this is just like what me and Amrit think, right? Like there could be some great buildings we didn't talk about today. If you live in a building and you love the experience, let us know in the comments. If you lived in one of these buildings and you hated the experience, let us know in the comments below so we can keep that in mind, because we can give you our opinion based on what our clients have told us and us showing the condos. But I've personally never lived in any of these buildings, right? So keep that in mind as we do these reviews. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, let us know by giving us a like, getting subscribed to the channel, and let us know in the comments as well what area you want us to do next. Talk to you soon.